Hello, fourth grade. Mr. Bauer here. So, a lot of you know me, a lot of you might not know me as well, but from now till the end of the school year, I'll be sending you, or fourth grade will be sending you videos of me doing bridges for you. We're going to start with Unit 6 in bridges. And I know my kids in Dr. Couture's class, you've done some of this already, but we're all of fourth grade is going to start with Unit 6. So you might see a review here. But as I recall, it's some new concepts and some review, but some of the newer things were causing you to really have to think about it. So it's good that we're going to review after having 4 or 5 weeks off, okay? So as you look at the board, what I've done, trying to set up some kind of precedent for the rest of the year, is as I go through, I'm going to be circling, anytime I circle that, those are pages, whether it's in your student book or your home connections book. On the left side here, I'll be circling pages in your book in case I have to show you or give you an example from your student book or your home connections book, okay? Today, we are doing quite a bit because not only have we had almost 5 weeks off, we've had 5 weeks off by the time you see this video, but this video is coming to you Monday, the 20th, and I will be giving 2 videos a week, and Monday and Wednesday. So we have to do pretty much, 5 or 6 sessions in a whole week because I'm only going to see you twice a week. So to fill in for the whole week, where every time you have a video with me, it will be more than you're used to, but we're giving you extra because you have some extra time at home to work on it, especially on Wednesdays when you won't see another video till Monday. That gives you 4 or 5 days to work on your homework. So, Unit 6, Session 1 is basically a review. This is all student book here I'm looking at. So, because Session 1 of every new unit, Module 1, Session 1, has a pretest, which we're not going to do. There's not much else to do in Session 1 besides the pretest. So in Session 1 for Unit 6, page 210 in your student book, it's kind of a review, okay? So there's some geometry facts on page 210, and if you go back to page 187, it's kind of a geometry, student book 187, it's kind of a geometry, it has what a parallelogram is versus a rectangle, it has what a trapezoid is and such and such. So if you have any questions on 187 about geometry, you can always look back on 187. And then at the bottom of 210, it has a number pattern, and it says, whatever number you put in, it's times 2 minus 1 to get you to the next numeral, okay? So don't start with 0 because that'll get you into negative numbers. And don't start with 1 because that'll just give you 1 every time because 1 times 2 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So you go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way across. So at least start with 2 or larger. Okay, Session 2, which is 211 and 212, talks about dividing money. Okay, and some of the samples are like mental math. You know that 29 divided by 3. Okay, you have 9 and then $2 left over. Okay, so 29 divided by 3, 9 remainder 2. And then also you'll get into larger amounts. Okay, so here's $72 divided by 3. And Bridges wanted me to show that when you're dividing by 3, you're making 3 groups of money. So this is going to show how many. It's just like if you and two of your friends earn $72 and you want to divide it up equally, you might go, hey, here's a 20, here's a 20, here's a 20, there's $60. Okay, we have $12 left for three of us, so that's 4, 4, and 4 for each of us. So you end up with $24. Okay, so you're going to do some problems like that. All right. Down below, page 213 on student book, you first start with some matching up equations, which I don't think a lot of you will have trouble with, so I'm going to let that go. I'm sure you'll do okay. Number 2, it says write an equation, an inequality, or an expression for the following problems, and an inequality is greater than or less than. So an equation has equal, an inequality might use greater than or less than, or an expression is like 5 times 5 or 5 times 4, whatever, okay? So the bottom one, on the very bottom of 213, talks about a boy with $45 and he's going to loan his sister some money, but even after the loan, he's going to have more than $30 left. So that's an inequality. The boy starts with $45. You take away the sister's loan, whatever amount of money that is, and it's still going to be greater than $30 because it doesn't say how much he loaned his sister. So it's an inequality. It's 45 minus sister's money is still greater than $30. Okay? So that was session 2. Session 3, like I said, we're putting 3 days here of bridges into one. So it looks like a lot, but you'll have some time to work on it. So session 3 on page 214, before I get into that, Bridges wanted, in the Bridges teacher section, it talked about ratio tables. And so just remember, there's different ways of doing ratio tables. Here I did a times 14 horizontally and then a times 14 vertically. But they're the same thing, and they do come in handy, as you recall, because I went from 1, 2, and 3 times 14, and then I jumped up to 5. And you know that if 2 plus 3 is 5, that 28 plus 42 is the same as 5 times 14. So that's part of what they went over in the teacher section of session 3. Also, on 214, they talk about remainders. Remember, remainders can be whole numbers like balloons. You can't cut up a balloon into thirds or it'll pop. So sometimes we have remainders as whole numbers, and then we can have brownies you can cut up and turn into a fraction. You know, if you have so many people and the brownies don't come out evenly, you can say, okay, well, we each get 1/4 of the last brownie. So that's fractions. And then money, we usually use decimals. So that's page 214, okay? Now, home connections. Home connections, page 111. It talks about area and perimeter, and this is all review. But remember, area is length times width. And also, if you already know the area and you know, let's say, length, you can do area divided by length and it'll give you width. So some of those problems on 111 talk about that, okay? Perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side for a rectangle. It's got 4 sides, 4 S's, okay? But once again, they might say, hey, if the perimeter of a rectangle is whatever, 412 centimeters, and one side is 175 centimeters, what's the other side? So that's going to take some adding and subtracting to figure out what the other side is equal to as far as the units, okay? Just remember, opposite sides are equal. That's the key thing when working with rectangles. Okay, page 112 for home connections. This was kind of fun. Couture's class already did this, and we talked about it. So I'm going to review with you guys again. Okay, I'm going to sit down here. So this is, you can be teachers for a second because I'm not going to read the problem. You can do that, but on page 112 of Home Connections, they want you to make 2 bulletin boards. It's like teacher bulletin boards out in the pod or whatever, or out in the hallway. And each bulletin board is 7 feet by 11 feet. They're the same, okay? And as you roll out paper, like in the teacher workroom, you roll out the paper, it's 3 feet wide. So how are you going to cover 77 square feet? You want to go across? You want to go down? They're asking you what's the better way for not wasting paper. Okay? So let me give you a hint. So on the first one, I went across. Okay? So this side is 7 feet, but you can see where it's 1 yard wide. So that's 3 feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. So since these are in feet, I turn this into feet. Okay? So this first side is 7 feet. So I divide it into 3 feet, 3 feet, and 1 foot. But we're still going 11 feet across. So this is 33 square feet or feet squared. This one is also. Whoops. And then we have 11 square feet. Okay? Now if you add those up, that's 77 square feet, which is our total area. All right? I'll get back to this in a second. For this one, we decided, hey, let's try it going down. So now this is going to stay constant, but over here we split 11 feet into 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. Okay? There's not a lot of room here, so just take this in. This is all square feet in here. So we have 21 square feet, 21 square feet, 21 square feet, which is 63 square feet. So that makes this last one 14 for a total of 77 square feet. But the cool thing here is what's left. Because remember, these are 3 feet sections of paper, 1 yard. So you can see here, if we used 1 foot here going across, we wasted 2 feet by 11. Okay? Over here, there was only 1 foot wasted by 7. So when you get down to number 5, I'm not going to tell you all, I want you to kind of do some work yourself, but how much is wasted? So what's the best way of doing this? Okay? How much paper is wasted? And, comparing the two. So the best way would be blank because you're wasting less paper. It's kind of cool. It was kind of confusing for my class, but we did get through it. So this should give you a pretty good clue as to what we're talking about. Okay? Finally, in the corner here, we have Home Connections 113, and it's a recipe for hot cereal. So we'll say like oatmeal, okay? So if in the problem it says the recipe's 4 servings, you need 3 cups of water and 1 cup of cereal. So what about a little girl or boy, whatever the problem said, wants 1 serving, okay? Well, I'm not going to tell you, but since, this is 4 servings and this is 1, we basically divided by 4 to get 1 serving. So you have to divide 3 cups divided by 4 and 1 cup of cereal divided by 4. And that's all I'm going to tell you because I know you can figure it out. Just remember when you're doing, my class likes to do this type of division, okay? So if you know how to do the long division here, okay, you know that here's the decimal, but just divide normally. You can't do 4 into 3, so you start with 4 into 30. And if you do that, you will come up with the correct answer for how many cups of water, okay? Because it's not a whole number. It's not like if it was 4 cups, I just use 1 cup of water, but it's not. It's 3 divided by 4. So it will be a decimal, and this will be 0. Okay, so you're going to get less than 1. And then number 2 is, I thought you guys can handle this. A store's having a half price sale, so everything, you know, the normal retail price gets cut in half. So as you go down, you're turning the real price into a half price sale. Okay, so you divide by 2 all the way down. Now some of them have the sale price, so you know if they ask what was the original price, you know you need 2 of those to make the original price. So you can either add that, like over here they might have $42.50, and they're like, that's half price. What did it start as? Well, you need 2 of these to make the full price again. Okay? So there's 2 of those on that page 113 like that. All right? And the rest are all just cutting them in half. Now, the final page of Home Connections is cat food, and it takes up the whole page. Now, I'm not going to read it all to you because I'm trying to keep these videos kind of short because it takes so long to upload them when they get really long. So I'm trying to be very prudent here with my time. But we have cat food, and it says in the chart that for every 4 pounds of cat is 1 can of food. Okay? Well, let's go down here. So that means that 1/4 of a can of cat food is for every pound of cat. Okay? So 4 pounds equals 1 can, so that means 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1 can. So every pound is 1/4 of a can of cat food. So that means 5 pounds is this 1 can plus an extra 1/4. Okay, so 1 1/4. Okay, and then you have to fill in the chart, but I think you get the idea. Okay, 1/4 of a can is for every pound of cat. All right, now over here is the final. Okay, this is what I just went over. Okay, so I'm not sure yet how we're going to handle checking all this. We'll have to see how that goes. I'll be checking with the other 4th grade teachers. But you're doing student book 210 to 214, Home Connections 111 to 114, which I just explained. If you come up with a question and you want to ask me something, there is my email. Remember, it's B. Bauer, and then everything else is the same like other teachers. So if you have any questions, email me. And good luck. And I will be seeing you again on Wednesday. This is for Monday the 20th. You'll see me again on Wednesday the 22nd for your second video. Okay, good luck.